Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of CodeX After Dark. My name is Tim the Terrible. This guy over here is Sal the Slab Guy. Right next to him in seat number 3 is Dan Kelly from Dan Kelly Art live on Instagram. Down below is Archduke Kevy from Comic Character of the Day. And right next to him is our special guest that I am very proud and pleased to introduce you to. This is Uncle Gary, live from Comic Logic. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are in for a treat. This episode is outrageous and stupendous, and I can't even talk. I'm so excited.
Stupendous.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a slobber knocker. So get ready for that.
Slobber knocker.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we've got the business to get out of the way. We've got polls for you. We have 2 topics, as always. One is most outrageous covers. If you watch the pre-show, you got a nice little peek at what we are talking about. And topic number 2 is favorite comic storyline. So let's get the business out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on all the socials. All you got to do is type in the CodeX station, and that is where you will find us. Right there, your favorite social media platform. Make sure to hit like, share, subscribe, and follow on all your favorite streaming platforms so you can continue to watch more long-form content just like this. We've also got a website, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that is. That is the CodexStation.com for all your Codex needs. All you got to do is type in thecodexstation.com. Head over there for merch, meet the team, and so much more. I want you guys to take a look right there.
I have a question.
Actually. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. What is that?
So this is great. I love the long content stuff. If somebody wanted to check out like the behind the scenes stuff, how would they go ahead and do that?
Well, that's funny you asked that because we have Patreon. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/ you guessed it, the Codex Station, or you can hit that nice little QR code right there with your shiny smartphones and do that. But let me show you some awesomeness, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to check this out. So here is the Codex Station's Patreon page right here, all nice and shiny and brand new for you to come in. We have 0 patrons right now, and I would love to see that number change starting tonight. We have 2 tiers for you. One is on the spot, and that is $3 a month. That is less than a cheeseburger at most restaurants. Once per month, early access to edited and unedited episodes of our all live shows, the podcast After Dark and Comic Character of the Week, and also your name at the end of every episode, plus behind the scenes content just for you, Kevin. Early access and a patron shout out. Now, Codex is all about family, and you, ladies and gentlemen, are our family. And so we have one specifically for you, and that's $7 a month. Everything from the $3 tier you get, plus so much more. You also get, in addition to early access to the podcast After Dark and Comic Character of the Week, and also having your name at the end of every episode, you get a customer shout out from your favorite host. So that could be Kevin, Dan, Sal, me, Jamie, Sunny, Kristen, West, any of them. Your favorite you pick, and also you can ask questions to your favorite host, which we will answer for you live on air. We will also do a Do You Know Epic show just for patrons of this tier once per month. On top of that, you also get to pick a topic for After Dark and pick a character for Comic Character of the Week. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Patreon.com / the Codex Station. Now,
I'd like to throw in real quick that for the $7 tier, if you pick who you want to get a shout out from, we will absolutely make that a competition between all of us.
Yes.
We will absolutely trash talk each other for
110%. 110%. So, ladies and gentlemen, patreon.com / the Codex Station. Don't forget our sponsor for this week's episode. That is Dubby.gg. All you got to do is go to Dubby.gg, save 10% on your order using the keyword code -X. It is right down below. Use that at checkout to get some awesome energy supplements that Sal and Jamie and I both swear by.
good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Sal, where can people find you when you're not doing Codex stuff?
Well, when I'm not doing CodeX stuff, you can find me on YouTube under Sal's Comic Corner, and also under Instagram as the Slab Guy 77. And I do videos about my slabs, some unboxing, some cracking some slabs, doing some other things, all slab related. So
fantastic. And Dan, when you're not hiding behind the banner for Sal, what do you do when you're not doing Codex stuff?
You can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art. Just search hashtag Dan Kelly Art. My stuff will come up. I post art, music. I started posting some writing some of my song lyrics up there, so go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what songs you want to hear next. I am actually working on getting down this Johnny Cash song that I've been learning so I can post it on there. So go check it out. Give me a follow and let me know what you think in the comments.
Which Johnny Cash song?
It's one called That Old Wheel.
Got it.
I don't think I've ever heard that, and I've heard a lot of Johnny Cash.
It's not just the Johnny Cash song. He did it. It's a song that he did with someone else, but it's not like a real well-known one.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
Kevin, what do you do when you are not doing Codex stuff? And let everybody know where they can find you.
Right on. I created a group over on Facebook and Instagram, thank you, Dan, called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character every day, and we throw out a bunch of other really cool content. We post a bunch of different stuff every day. And like Tim said earlier, we're all about the family, so we would love to have you come over and join up on Comic Character of the Day and become a part of the least toxic group on the internet family.
Absolutely.
Check us out.
And ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce our guest for the night, live and in post prime time from the top ropes down into the walkway under the Titantron. We have
Mr.
Uncle
Boomer.
Gary, Mr. Boomer himself, Uncle Gary. Please, the Ric Flair of comic books, give us some preaching. Tell us to eat our vitamins and drink our milk.
You got to drink your milk, eat your vitamins. You got pythons like that, baby.
Get off my lawn.
Do your push-ups. Do your push-ups. Yeah. Oh, I am. I told you, I am a baby boomer. I'm the oldest one on this panel, but I'm probably the one you don't want grabbing you.
That's right. He's a bus driver too, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
So, Uncle Gary, where can people find you when you are not being a special guest at awesome shows like the Codex Pod?
Well, I am one of the co-owners of Comic Logic. We are the only comic book store in Loudoun County, Virginia. So we don't do anything online as sales and things like that, but you can find us on the socials, and we post about our shop and about events we have coming up. Once a week, I will do an old school comic cover of the week, Uncle Gary's old school comic cover of the week. This week, I happen to do Adventure Comics 431, which was the first of the Jim Aparo run, and I write a little bit about it, and it's kind of neat. And Kevin, I've told you for your site, if you ever want to grab it, please go ahead and grab it for extra content. But it's just part of my passion is to show my rule on the comic cover of the week is that it's got to be at least 20 years old, and it's got to be a book that I own. So thankfully, I got 58,000 to choose from, so I'm not going to run out of books anytime soon.
How many do you have again? I want to hear that number one more time.
I'm over 58,000. I have my CLZ as of today is 57,896, but that does not take into account all the doubles I have. So I am over 58,000. That is a fact.
Uncle Gary made it. Yes, he did. The Codex station. Way to go. Yes,
all right.
Uncle Gary's here. We are very happy.
And I also, on every Thursday on Facebook Live, through my two other co-owners at Comic Logic, we are the Ye Grumpier Old Nerds, and we have a show there. And we talk comics, we talk nonsense, and it's, we got a funny spell into it, but that's because of rights, that somebody else beat us to the name. So we got to spell it a little differently. But we talk comics, we talk nonsense, we talk about the recent stuff, we talk sports. I hammer Dan Snyder as many times as I can, which is the owner of the Washington Commanders here. We talk Caps. I see you wear your Caps jersey a lot. And we're Nats fans, so we talk, DC area sports sometimes, but it's mainly a comic show, talk pop culture. We do news of the week. So basically it's just three friends getting together, shooting the shit. So
there you go. Dan,
it.
speaking of that, or Gary, I'm sorry. Speaking of that, I want you to talk about some of these pictures that you sent me today. And I showed the guys this in the warm up, but I want to show the fans that are watching right now. So let's go ahead and start here.
okay, we're in my
Yeah.
library now. So that's part of my library upstairs where I have my hardbacks, my trade paperbacks, and nice collected editions. So I've the almost everything I have on the walls are signed by the artist.
That
The
is
main thing,
amazing.
the main thing you see there is those are Jim Calafori prints, and he did it in like a splatter type Jason Pollock type.
Wow.
And again, I said earlier, I have not a damn lick of artistic ability, but I do believe I have some pretty good design sense. So I have some geek chic, I think is what we can call it.
Yeah, some geek feng shui going on right there.
I think so too. So I think that's that's one part of my library, and then I have those are where I have the other different geometric patterns, and again almost everything on the wall and on the floor there is signed. I've got Neil Adams signed prints there, all the Calafori signed prints, Perez signed prints, and one of the highlights. I worship at the altar of Bernie Wrightson. I have signed Wrightson stuff. So I got to meet him once, and that was one of the highlights of my life. My Mount Rushmore is Perez, Wrightson, Neil Adams, and Alex Ross. And I've met three of the four. The only one I haven't met is Ross, who is the only one that's still living. So that's another view of my my library. I've got some. I
love the chair right there, right in the middle.
Chair and the ottoman.
Yep. Oh, that's a great place to read books. Behind it, I have a Grimjack print signed by Tim Truman. My Dan, that Spectre art that you got for me, my brother, will be in one of the shelves where I have books, and will be displayed that way. I have a lot of my friends that are local artists that have contributed. Like I say, when they come to visit the museum, they pay homage, and their artwork hangs there. So I love to promote the local artists as well as the nationally renowned ones. So it's just wonderful. It's a great place, and my local artist friends say that's the room they want to draw in. This is downstairs. I've got 4 different cabinets full of figures. The Hulk statue on the bottom can only be on the bottom because that some bitch is about 20 pounds. So, excuse my language. I'll try to be a little nice.
It's okay. Sometimes
this is
Evan's picture.
This is after dark.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying not to throw any F-bombs in, so I'll throw a little bit of salt.
Well, a PG-13 movie is allowed one, so whoever gets to it first will get a no prize.
Well, there we go. I would hate to be the guest and use up the F-bomb. Somebody else may be really needing it.
Well, all right, gentlemen. So we're going to get into more of Uncle Gary's wealth of knowledge with comic books. That's coming a little bit later. I know he's got a special treat for you guys in a bunch of books that he wants to show. I haven't seen any of them, and I'm excited to see them, and I know you guys are too. So
I like it when you're excited, baby.
Ooh, I'm hand fisting it. It's like a baby's hand in an apple right now.
That's what the word on the street is.
That is correct. He is not telling a lie. Dan, go ahead. Start us off here with some polls, buddy.
All right. Well, I don't have any polls this week because
Kevin, it's your. Go ahead.
Because I am broke until my daughter starts kindergarten at the end of August, and I chose to spend my comic money this week to take her to the movies to see the Mario Brothers movie, which
good choice.
I highly recommend it. She loved it. I loved it. My wife loved it. It's a ton of fun. But I did have one thing to show off. So anybody that has been watching for the past few weeks knows that on the CodexStation.com, we have some brand new merch. A new t-shirt and a new hoodie, which I'm willing to venture a guess that's the shirt that Tim is wearing currently.
It is not. This is the regular one. What you're about to show is in the mail and it's on the way.
Okay, well, I do not actually have it because even though I helped design it, I still have to pay for my own, and I have not done it yet. But I was waiting for Tim to be on here to see this, so in case you want to see it, Tim, this was the artwork that I drew for it.
That is so beautiful.
That I sent to Jamie. Now, the original one I have was not this. So the story is that Jamie, had the idea to do the Bagley art thing because everybody that's watched this knows that anytime Spider-Man, any Spider-Man thing, Don, Tim's like, is that Bagley art?
Is it? It's amazing. That's
So he finally got a picture of Tim that he was going to put on a shirt, and he sent it to us. We have a group chat going, and he sent it to us.
I didn't see any of this until it was debuted on the website, by the way.
I would have loved to have seen your reaction to that. We missed that.
So it was the picture he just sent of Tim, and he's, put some words on there. He goes like, is that Bagley art? And he's like, yeah, I'm still working on this. It's kind of a prototype. And I saw it, and I'm like, I got an idea for that. So I sketched out something real quick. Not this one. I sketched out something real quick just on a just a piece of computer paper, colored it in with some markers real quick. And like I said, there was no real detail in it. It was just real quick. And I sent it to Jamie. I was, saying like, hey, I think it would be funny if you did something like this. So it had the top picture with Tim going like, is that? And then the picture I drew on the bottom, like Bagley art where it was zoomed in. And I just thought, I'll send it to Jamie. He'll get a laugh out of it, and then he'll do whatever. So he gets back to me and he goes, oh man, that's really cool. Draw it up. So I drew it up in more detail like this. So got the Spider-Man mask underneath of his
you got me perfect, by the way.
Got the Spidey sense lines on there. And then I scanned this and I sent it to Jamie to color because I'm not much of a colorist. And he did the digital colors, made the t-shirt. So Tim, awesome. I will be mailing this to you because I do have your address. And
that's going in a frame, and it's going right back here on the artistic wall right there. Uncle Gary, I'm catching up to you on a comic artwork.
Hey, baby.
I will be pulling this out of those are blank pages. Pulling this out of my sketchbook, I guess you can't, whatever. This is where I sketch out like characters that I create, but I will pull that out and send it to you, and I'll try and find the original one that I had like sketched out real quick and colored.
That's amazing.
And send those to you. So that's all I have to show this week.
That's great.
You'll have the drawing that I did that became your shirt.
Sign it, please.
Yep.
I need it. I need it personalized.
Nice, definitely.
Dan, I love your spinner rack, baby.
If you see all these lines on here, when I originally drew it in pencil, and you'll see it.
Yeah.
You probably can't tell in here, but you'll see it when you get it. That you can tell that from when I erased the pencils after I inked it, that those were shaded in.
Yeah.
I didn't shade them in when I inked it because I sent it to Jamie thinking like, if you want to do something different with the colors. If you want me to before I send it to you, I will.
As is perfect. As is. All right. Yeah. Did you hear what Uncle Gary said about your spinner rack?
Love the spinner rack, baby.
Thanks. I actually got this. The company I work for, we had an office in Dulles, and we closed the office down a couple years ago, like 2 years ago. Right at the start of COVID. And when we're cleaning the stuff out, one of the things that I found in a closet was this spinner rack. It's not like one that you would actually have in a shop back in the old day. It was just something I always wanted to have, but I was like, oh, well, I'm definitely taking this home with me. So, yeah.
Hey,
all right.
It's awesome, baby.
That's what I got. Tim's artwork, which will soon be in his hands.
Well,
more valuable than anything we picked up this week is an original piece of art.
Right.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So I think Kevin is up next, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Kevin, what do you got there, buddy?
All right. So, as you guys all know, I recently decided to quit picking up the individual issues of comics and focus upon trade paperbacks, graphic novels, omnibuses, collected editions of things. So my selection this week is going to be all what I picked up for trade paperbacks. So I got the first Powers trade paperback, which if you guys don't know, not you guys, but people don't know, Powers is great. I highly recommend that. It's Brian Michael Bendis' original work.
How many issues does that cover?
I think this is the first run. I think this is the first 11 or 12.
Wow, that's a big trade for 12.
And it has a lot of really cool
Like a lot of
behind the
extras.
scenes
Got it.
stuff too, and.
Mm.
The scenes
Got it.
stuff too, and the coloring book, that was a limited thing.
Did you ever watch the TV show?
I did not, because I don't know, I didn't watch it, but I looked it up, and it didn't really have that same feel as the comic series. So I'm like, I'd rather keep it, pure. And I got a book that is out of print, so I'm pretty happy I got this right here. Look at that, huh?
Mighty.
What the heck is that?
It's a brick.
That is the Authority omnibus.
I
Out
thought
of
that was
print.
your home defense.
Yeah,
adventure.
you can beat somebody to death with that.
Yeah.
Really happy about that.
Put it in a
zombie
satchel.
slayer there.
Seriously?
Hey, put it in a plastic bag so you don't get blood stains on it.
No deal, bro.
You wouldn't even need a bag and board for that. It'd be like a grocery bag.
Oh my god.
And I got, boom,
Nice.
Ooh.
the slipcase edition deluxe of Something's Killing the Children.
Wow.
The first 15 issues. Kind of a nice one.
That is
And,
amazing.
awesome.
Here in Portland, Oregon, they have a museum called OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, I think. I may be wrong. Forgive me if that's not quite accurate. And they have had up until I think today or tomorrow is the last day of it. So I barely squeaked in on time to check out the OMSI Marvel exhibit.
Ooh.
And they had the very first Marvel comic ever printed, and they had the very first Fantastic Four issue, and it was just everything was just so cool there.
Right
But
on.
I needed to pick up a souvenir, so
So he grabbed it and ran.
What's that?
So he grabbed Fantastic Four 1 and ran.
Right.
Well, wheeled out.
I got this bad boy, Marvel
Wow.
Nice.
Encyclopedia with everything.
Oh my god.
So cool.
Is there
And I love-
Bagley art in there?
I'm sure that there is it has everything.
At some point.
Yeah. I love the old Who's Who of DC and the official handbook of the Marvel Universe.
Mhm.
So just looking up these characters, I'm like, oh, I remember this guy, and some of the more obscure dudes, which this is also going to give me ammo to figure out new people to put up on the more obscure days on Comic Character of the Day.
Oh, you mean like what we're doing with Comic Character of the Week this Sunday with MODOK? Anyways, let me
I
go
thought-
ahead.
I thought we were doing Firestorm this week and
Firestorm this week,
MODOK
Yeah.
next
MODOK
week.
next week.
Yeah, so
But-
there you go.
Thanks for ruining the surprise, guys.
Shit happens. Sorry, it was put on a t-shirt. So let me go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and show you guys some awesome comic books. Thanks, Kevin. Have a good day. I got some, Sal, your buried treasure thing that you did not too long ago kind of inspired me. And I dug through some stuff, and I found some stuff that I didn't realize were as valuable as they are. So I'm going to show you some of those. Two of them I did know, but the other ones I wasn't aware. So the first one here is the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. This is from Marvel now. This is number 1, the second print.
Nice. I have that too. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Of course you do, Sal.
I love that series, the Renew Your Vows, Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Yep. The Secret Wars one was really good. I haven't read that one yet.
Right.
But this one, I knew, this is one of the ones I knew was worth a little bit of a shiny nickel or two. This one I got from Wes. This is Spider-Man Gold number 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the price tag still on it.
Yeah, $25 that I didn't have to pay for because he handed it to me. This is the silver.
That McFarlane?
It's McFarlane, inked by McFarlane, colored by McFarlane.
Written by McFarlane.
Exactly.
Wipe
Spider-Man
by his
Silver.
ass.
Yeah, exactly. So those two covers, but then this one I found. This one I've had for a while, and I know it was worth a pretty penny back in the day, and it kind of fell down. But this is the Brubaker and Epting run on Captain America.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Oh,
run.
it's such a good
Yeah.
run.
Great
You
run.
had Dan. You had Dan at Captain America.
I think
Yeah.
Brubaker has done some of the best, if not the best, Captain America and Winter Soldier stories in recent history.
Well,
Tim, do you read Brubaker's crime stuff?
I haven't yet. I
Oh.
want to. I've got a trade over
So
here
good.
of
So good.
I've got a
Oh,
trade of Brubaker Batman that I haven't read yet that I really want to dive into.
His crime stuff for Criminal and for Pulp and
Incognito is really good too. I like those.
Yeah.
The Fade Out. Oh my God.
I've
Just
heard a
great.
lot about it. I just have not had the chance to do it.
Yeah, I'm a big noir fan, but Brubaker is top shelf.
Absolutely. Sticking with the Captain America motif, let's go with who he should have dated and not Sharon Carter.
Diamondback. Oh, okay.
That's a J. Scott Campbell Black Widow cover. And this one's worth a shiny nickel or two. So I thought that was pretty cool. This one kind of blew me away. And then I'll get into my polls from last week and some mail call stuff. But this one blew me away. This is the Punisher number 218, where he goes into the War Machine.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I was unaware that was
That's
such
the first
a big
one.
deal. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Wes, if you're watching, that book's going out pretty soon. But let's get into
some on those too. On the last few books of that series.
Do what?
On when he had the Punisher, when they had the War Machine armor, the last 3 or 4 issues of that run started having like lower and lower print runs because I guess it wasn't real popular when it
is
came
now.
out.
But let's go into polls. I haven't read this one yet. This is Moon Knight number 21.
Oh, Moon Knight's so good.
I'm loving everything McKay's doing on Moon Knight. Very excited about it. Very happy about it.
Yep.
So I'm able to dive into that. This is Detective Comics 1070. I am loving these covers on Detective right now. I think they are gorgeous.
Yeah,
they are.
Absolutely.
There's something simplistic but yet awesome about them.
Oh, the whole border and everything. The throwback to Oracle right here.
I love
so good.
I love the logo that they have for it now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love the integration of the title in the bat symbol.
Yep.
I don't like the logo on the current Batman series as much, but the Detective one is so good.
Here's the B cover for 1070.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Rad.
I like the A cover.
Yep.
Yeah, the A cover is just so beautiful. I'm digging this run right here that I'll get into. This is Catwoman number 53. I'm really liking what they're doing with this right now. So yeah, the DNA covers are absolutely phenomenal.
Pretty cover.
Yeah,
very
good.
Is that still the
new Catwoman?
Was that still the non Selena Kyle Catwoman?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but the book's got a lot of humor. It's got well-paced action, and it's a very solid read. If you were on the fence about Catwoman, get off the fence and go read it because it's awesome.
Recommendation.
Yeah, here's well, that's not my book of the week. Here is a mail call.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Very happy to finally have this, and I got it for a decent price that I didn't have to sell a child for. So,
did you just rent one out for a while?
Yeah, pretty much. Here's the last of pulls, and this is another timeless variant, and it is Elektra.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is Daredevil number 9. Oh yes. So
I love it when they do Electra with like the curly hair
Mhm.
as opposed to the
Yep.
straight hair, the wild out of control hair everywhere. I like that. I like that interpretation. That
Now,
of
let
Electra.
me show you my last mail call. This is somebody that I have been buying from, and Dan, I'm not going to tell you who it is because it's on Atomic Avenue, and I want to just buy from him alone. I don't want you to buy all this stuff.
I don't have money to buy anything, so you were fine.
But this guy has been awesome. I've bought from him 4 times. So now, in addition to my local comic shop, I go here for back issues. His books are always packaged extremely well. They arrive on time, and he gives you a bonus issue in every order. So, yeah, I dig that. So,
this is Atomic Avenue, you said?
AtomicAvenue.com. Absolutely.
Okay.
So this is Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and Punisher. This is the sequel to Hearts of Darkness. This is called Dark Design.
Nice.
I've never read it, and I finally got it to check it out. So
have you read Hearts of Darkness?
I read it every October.
Is that the same creative team?
No, Howard Mackey is still the writer, but it's a different artist that I don't know who it is. Garney?
Oh, Ron Garney.
Ron Garney.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Captain America.
Mm.
And right after Heroes Reborn.
Yep, absolutely. And the rest of this stuff is Amazing Spider-Man. So what I have here, and these are pretty minty fresh, Sal. Like so fresh you taste peppermint looking at them.
Minty.
Amazing Spider-Man 243.
Wow.
I love the old classic style work.
Yeah.
Options, absolutely, Peter. Absolutely.
Yes,
More options than he has right now, which they're putting him over a barrel, but I digress. Amazing Spider-Man 247.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice classic cover there. This one I love. This is a C vest cover, and this is Amazing 261.
That's one of my favorite Spider-Man covers. Vest is a Virginia boy. He's from Lynchburg, and he is amazing.
Oh, go ahead.
Is that Hobgoblin there?
No, Kevin, that's Hobgoblin.
Okay, Hobgoblin.
What he did on Web of Spider-Man was amazing. He did a trade where he painted a cover, and I used to have the poster for that on my wall for the longest time. So good. Let me show you that one more time. Such a beautiful painted cover.
Yeah, Vest did a hardback where Spider-Man went to Scotland.
Yes, that's the one where he's perched on the
right.
Yeah, the broken castle walls.
Yeah, I've got it signed. I've got it signed by him, and that is a treasure.
Oh man,
Spirits of the Earth, maybe.
Sal, look that up. I think that's correct.
I think you're right. You're right on that.
But while Sal's looking that up, let's take a look at the rest here. We have Amazing Spider-Man 264.
Oh yeah, I used to have that one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I love
Spirits of the Earth.
Looks good.
It is Spirits of the Earth. Yeah.
Amazing 266. It is Spirits of the Earth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Just popped out.
There you go. Jamie, we will get your question out of the way as soon as I finish my polls. He's got some life advice that he needs from you. Amazing Spider-Man 271. Yeah, during the reign of the symbiote. This is a cover I remember from back in the day when I was a kid. 280.
Yes. Oh, I've got that. That's one of the ones I have. That same thing. Like I had that when I was a kid, and
here is my bonus book. I already had the issue, but the issue I had was horrible, and this one is minty fresh. So Amazing 382, and he even puts a little post-it on there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that Bagley art?
It is Bagley art. Uncle Gary, please answer this question for Jamie. Ultimate Warrior, Uncle Gary, what are you taking, and what is your arm workout routine? Jamie needs that advice.
Baby, this is all genetics. I'm an old man, and the weightlifting I do is push-ups. And since I'm 3 bills, that's a hell of a lot I'm pushing up. Yesterday I did 220. So I do them from 5 different positions. I start standard, go military, go wide, do decline, and end it with diamonds, which are the hardest ones. So it's all push-ups, baby. And look, I'm an old man. So I think when I did my first set, I did 64 straight, and I'm just 58. So that ain't bad. And I'll get to where I'm just slowly building up again this year. I'll get to where I can do 100 straight. But
wow,
by June, I should be at 100, I hope.
Well,
hey, Tim, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What is your book of the week? You didn't tell us.
Oh shoot, I didn't even have it in my list. It's She-Hulk number 11.
Oh, okay.
Great series. I'm loving it right now.
It's fun.
It's lighthearted.
Mhm.
And
it's fun. It's a fun book.
It is fun. It's
sorely
fun, yeah.
needed right now in all the doom and gloom. It reminds me of the 90s era of comic books. It's a lighthearted read. Men and women, boys and girls, children of all ages can enjoy the book, and I highly recommend you guys go check it out. Unless you want to hate read Amazing Spider-Man right now. But, Sal, it is your turn, and then we've got Uncle Gary with some stuff. So what do you got today?
All right, I will not preview my Heroes Corner Comics bowl. You can see that on my channel because that's a little bit long.
There you go.
But I will show you a mail call I got just recently and my pulls from the shop, which I hit about 3 hours ago. So, all right. So first up, we have Green Lantern Season 2, number 1, the B cover.
Ooh, wow.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I got a few extra timeless variants. We have Nightcrawler.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
My glare is terrible today. Ooh.
It is a little bit, but
there we go. That's the angle right there.
That's good.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, Sal, by the way, Ethan got the action figures. Loves them.
Awesome. Glad he did.
Iceman.
Nice. Who's getting his own series again?
Yes, he is. Was it Uncanny Iceman or something like that?
Unstoppable Iceman.
Something like that. Yep.
Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I have that one. Yep.
And then this is just for Tim.
All hail Darkhawk.
Now this is a pretty,
Sal. You don't have to show all your money in one shot. I mean,
I got
this book. Us his retirement plan.
I got this book pretty dirt cheap. I paid.
Did you quit your job today too?
$16 for it.
Wow,
that's it. It's a newsstand. And
it's a $1 million book, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
So yeah, this one will be sent off to be slabbed. Worth absolutely nothing. Whatever.
Oh, look! Facebook user says you can't hide money. That is true.
Yeah.
Sal, you're the richest man here right now.
I am not.
Welcome to the Darkhawk Club.
There you go.
I tried to own a copy of it, but I wanted a newsstand edition. So now I think I have both. So I have Blood Tree.
Wow, way to drop the hammer.
hey, Sal, can you give me a brief synopsis of that? I'm not familiar.
A Blood Tree?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have not read Blood Tree yet.
Okay. Right,
I have not. This is number 3. This is the one with the murder mystery with the angel wings, correct?
Yes.
So I've only read issue number 1, and it's like a murder mystery, and they have people that have been killed, but they've had like angel wings sewn onto them. So it's kind of like a crime theme, and the first issue that I've read was really good. So I made sure I put this on my list. Mm-hmm.
Why am I not aware of that? That sounds right up my alley.
Well,
right up your alley,
Kevin, because you're not getting single issues anymore.
Well,
yeah,
fair,
that's why.
From the first 2 issues, I got kind of a almost a Silence of the Lambs type of vibe from it. Just the way that it's like the way the detectives are hunting down this criminal that's doing like this heinous stuff. And
did you say anus stuff?
I heard that too, but I was gonna let that slide.
You had me at anus. My bad. I'm sorry.
Take it slow.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at After Dark, we do not condone any anus.
Slow and steady, gentlemen. Slow and steady.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Well, that's how you got to do it when you start.
I'm sorry, fellas. I shouldn't have done that on the first show.
No, that's okay.
You're fine.
Perfect.
This is After Dark, baby. Anything
Oh,
Kevin's lost it. He's out.
Kevin, just mute for now. Okay.
Go ahead.
The next couple of books is the Night of the Ghoul.
Oh, those are great.
That was so good.
Yeah.
So I asked Dan to ask the shop guy to put these in my box, and he did. So thank you, Dan. This is issue number 1. The one I just showed you was issue number 3. Sorry, they're out of order.
Is that all the series is 3 issues?
3 issues.
Yeah.
And this is issue number 2.
That is a really cool cover right there, too.
Nice.
It's such a cool series. I would love to see them make a movie out of that. Have you read it yet?
No, I just got it like 3 hours ago. Dude. Come on.
Oh, you'll really enjoy it.
Okay. So I got Invisible Iron Man number 4.
Oh, that's a good cover.
That is a cool one.
Is that the A cover?
That is the A cover.
Is it really? Wow.
That is the A cover.
I know Bob Layton's doing like connecting variant covers for it too.
Oh, nice.
With like the Hall of Armor.
Oh,
So
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that. That's awesome.
So we got the Detective Comics.
Yeah.
That looks familiar.
We all like.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah.
That looks familiar.
What do you know?
This is the B cover for Iron Man.
Oh,
the A cover looks better.
It does.
It does.
I think that A cover is amazing. It's invincible.
Oh yeah,
it's invincible.
Then we got Venom number 18.
How many of those did you get today?
The last copy of that available.
Moving on. We got Wolverine number 32.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Oh, I'm so pissed off at what they're doing and for my boy the Beast and that.
No. All right, so then we have Amazing Spider-Man number 23.
I heard a potential spoiler for the whole series, and if it's true, it could potentially make me quit reading Amazing Spider-Man again.
That's bad. That's bad. So we have End of the Spider-Verse Part 7.
The introduction to Spider-Boy, that is going to be a grail.
I'm anxiously awaiting the ones that ordered from Heroscornercomics.
So am I. And then we got Batman number 134.
That's a great book. That's a great book.
I haven't read that yet.
So
is that all you got?
No slabs this week.
Oh, okay.
So maybe next week I'll have some. Probably the week after next. I'm out next week.
There you go.
Sal.
Yo.
Sal, what's your book of the week?
Really gonna make me pick a book of the week right now?
I
he hasn't read any of them.
I have to. Hey,
how about my most anticipated book of the week? I'm gonna go with Venom 18.
Venom
18.
That tracks for you.
I sort of like the Venom character.
Kind of, sort of. Well, all right.
I may have gotten a couple of issues of them, you know.
Let's go ahead and see what good old Uncle Gary has for us.
Uncle Gary, what you got?
Let's see what party favors I have.
Uh-oh.
First, one of the most important things in my life is a good-looking redhead, and I live with one. But I also brought a good-looking redhead home. Oh, so this is a Poison Ivy. Yep, great Poison Ivy cover. So, like I said, I love a great redhead. Married one, and these are the only other redheads I get now.
Wow.
That series has been tremendous.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. And then I got this nice facsimile edition of Brave and the Bold 28.
Oh my God!
Oh, wait a minute. There's a mistake. I don't know how that got here. That doesn't seem to be the facsimile edition.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how that got in the stack.
Gary, I am jealous.
Won the award for showing the most expensive book ever shown on After Dark.
Right?
I ain't finished yet.
I'm out.
Let's see that Justice League. Oh man,
the clean copy too, wasn't it, baby? Woo! Actually, this is one of the most important books in my collection. My beloved grandfather bought me that book in 1982 or 1984 for $180.
Wow!
And it's in beautiful shape. So
it looks like it.
And
Great
Sal,
story,
does that hurt you that it's not slabbed? Does it bring tears to your eyes that it's a hot dog?
No, not at all.
No, I'm just curious because I'm not a
imagine.
dude that. There's only one book I've ever sent to get slabbed, and that was because it was my favorite cover of all time. And that's it. I'm not selling my books like this. Matter of fact, I'm looking for a hearse with a luggage rack. I'm taking all the shit with me.
Oh,
I'm with you.
I always told my wife, my family, and that I was like, look, my stuff is my stuff. When I die, it's still my stuff. It goes with me. You get the Viking, you get the boat with the Viking funeral. It piles all on there with me.
Well, I've got 2 grown daughters that love the comics. So actually, when my mom died unexpectedly, we sat down and we divvied up who would get what, and it was kind of it was kind of interesting to do that and to see what appealed to each one of them. But there's a lot of stuff, minutia, that they're not going to care about that I do need to streamline. I can't remember the name. The Swedish have a term that means death cleaning. So I have to do some death cleaning, So a current book I got, I'm really digging this title, this Avengers. It's Alan Davis doing the art. It's War Across Time. This is an old school Avengers story. I mean, I just not dug the Jason Aaron run, and I don't know. I've got a complete run of Avengers, and this harkens back to a simpler time for me. So
nice.
I just really dig that book.
And the artwork is very old school as well.
Oh yeah, I love Alan Davis. Met him last year at HeroesCon. He was a gem. So we got another great facsimile book here now.
I hate you so much.
House of Secrets 92. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, that's the real deal again. I don't know how this stack infiltrated here. So
Gary,
they're
just all mixed together.
Yep.
You just found these in a trash can, right?
Yeah. This is just shit that's laying around, baby.
I think I'm having a jealousy seizure.
He just grabbed random books out of his collection.
Yeah, just random books. Listen, here will go something that isn't the wonderful Alex Ross Mysterio cover. I love the fact that you can see the outline of the dude's cranium in there.
Yeah,
right. That is so cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Really cool Mysterio cover.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, this is for you. This next facsimile.
Okay.
You needed to answer this correctly on when the DC multiverse was created. Well, it was Flash 123, baby.
Oh my God!
Look at that copy. There it is. Woo!
Oh jeez!
How about that? That is
awesome.
That might be a 9.
So, Uncle Gary, what we're gonna do is when we do on the podcast, we'll have you come on and show us the books for the answers to our questions.
Works for me, baby.
If you really want to make Kevin jealous, you gotta pull out a Strange Adventures 180.
I need that comic.
Strange Adventures 180 is that the Snowman?
First appearance of Animal Man, my favorite character.
Man. Okay, I don't have that, but I do have the Great Snowman cover, which is 79, and I have the 110, which is the giant hand reaching up over the car. But I don't have that. I do have Strange Adventures 205, the first Dead Man. I have all those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That Snowman cover is great.
So
ridiculous.
And the story, and you look at that and you think, well, okay, maybe they're formidable, but when they get to the equator, we got a problem. But actually, when you read it, the equator's not going to do much to them. They're better than that. So, but it was a great story. Batman 134, which you have shown, this is a great Joe Quesada variant, and I think
killing it on
that
there.
coming.
Yes, he
I really dig it. And there's another variant for this book, and usually I don't buy. Usually. Because I have no artistic talent, there aren't covers where I could say I could do better. But here is one where damn straight I could do better.
The Tom King.
The Tom King April Fool cover. And I just dig it. It's just so funny that it's a homage to one. And he says, I'm sorry to Bob Kane on there. So I think this is great. And the funny thing is, of all the books, this may be the damn one that's worth something more than the others.
I can see that actually. Yeah.
And I love what he did with the Batman logo.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun. Speaking of Batman logos, here's a Batman logo for you.
Oh my God.
Batman 15. This is part of what Selling Spawn got me. The 15th issue of Batman. And for people that say Batman doesn't use guns, kiss my ass. He's shooting off a 30 cal right there.
That's the World War II era.
Yep.
Hell, his first appearance, he had a sidearm.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, this was a great, and it's the last big logo Batman.
Wow.
my Silver Age collection is pretty damn near complete of everything. But the Golden Age, I'll never be able to do that. As a matter of fact, my Batman run will ultimately be 100 up. My Superman will be 100 up. My Detective and my Action will be 250 up. And I'm really close to getting to all those. But I'll never get the others. But I want one great representation of all the great big logo books. Yeah. And so this is my Batman. This is my Batman.
That's
so
awesome.
I was thrilled to get that last year. So
seriously jealous, buddy.
Hey, brother, you come by and inhale them, man.
Oh yeah.
And the best thing about these is the in-house ads. Oh my God, the in-house ads are fabulous on these. So another great Tom King cover is The Man Who Laughs 7. This is reminiscent of, it's either Detective 475 or 476, the Joker fish cover, and he has I'm Sorry to Marshall Rogers, who, man, doesn't get talked about enough as a great Batman artist. The dearly departed the late great Marshall Rogers. Loved his stuff and loved his and Englehart's run on Batman, which was one of my favorites. But again, this will be the damn book everybody wants. Go up in value.
I'm loving those April Fool's covers. Those are
seriously.
Nice. Oh, me too. So remember, Dan, was it you there saying you're enjoying the Stargirl series?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember a couple weeks ago they had the great Stargirl comic that had the great homage, the old Flash cover.
Yeah.
I think it was this one.
Yeah.
Would that be the Flash cover? Yeah.
That is something.
Wow.
Flash Comics
sick.
number 10. For many years, this was my oldest book from 1940. But I've since got last year Baltimore, I got a book from 1939, which
that's amazing.
So I may step away and show you between segments.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is history right here for comic books. We are going through it.
Yep.
I feel like we're noobs compared to Uncle Gary. I really do.
There it is, right there.
Now, I will say this. When I talked with Tim about this with the pools, and I said, hey, is it okay if I'm a smart ass and mix some of these in? He said, yeah. So I'm not just being a complete asshole without checking. I did check if it was okay for me to be.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I think my exact words were, yeah, go ahead and be an asshole. These guys will love every minute of this.
Oh, yeah.
And I am.
Yeah. So here's the lizard.
Nice.
Here's the lizard. So nice.
It looks like Cobra Commander from the G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah.
Once a man.
Almost does.
Once a man.
Let's see what else is laying around here.
Around.
Facsimile.
Oh my God!
Is that a nice one? Is that a nice facsimile? Oh, wait a minute. Here we go again. That's one of the regulars. Damn,
that's a solid copy.
The second appearance of Wolverine.
The second appearance, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is not the first appearance. It's 180.
Yep.
I am on with you on that one, brother. Second appearance.
I totally agree with that too.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
If you want another red cover, here's a nice one.
Oh my God.
Spotlight too.
Oh.
But and if we're in the red color theme, here's a Werewolf by Night 1. That's a sweet copy. It's a pretty nice copy. That other one is a nice Neil Adams. This is Plug, of course. So that's nice. Okay, so let's finish my. I mean, I got all the timeless variants, but I just showed you 3 that love the Rhino. Love me some Rhino. Here's the Joker Who Stopped Laughing Bermejo cover.
Oh, that's
nice.
Pretty good.
Like
the back seat of the car still looks like somebody you do not want to mess with.
No.
Hey kid, get in the car.
Yeah.
His artwork is fantastic.
Oh yes, absolutely. A book I've really been enjoying lately. I love me some Joe Fixit.
Oh yeah.
Have y'all picked up this book at all?
Which number is that? 4?
This is 4, I think. Yeah, because number 1 had me crying when Joe Fixit emerges and the Kingpin's going to take him on, thinks he's a goon, and Spider-Man's in the Spider-Man's on the ceiling and gets to watch the Kingpin get smacked down by the Joe Fixit, and Spidey just says best day ever. So I dug
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Let's see.
I don't have number 4 yet. I have number 3.
Yeah, that's
I don't
number
have
4.
number 4 yet.
It's coming. Here's another facsimile, House of Mystery number 1.
Oh.
And it's slapped.
Wanda was a werewolf.
Do you have the
and-
Supergirl or the Superboy cover that goes with that?
I do, and a matter of fact, I bought it at a show a couple weeks ago, and I put this on my Facebook page, and some of you may know me as Opie Taylor on Facebook. My wife and I share that page. But let me move them this way. So these covers, do they have a common bond? Is there a connection, or is it just happenstance? Any ideas?
I've read your Facebook post, so I'll be quiet.
I do not. I do not know.
Okay. Well, I had the House of Mystery since last year, and I'm lucky enough, I have every DC Bronze Age horror book. So House of Mystery, my run starts at 174 when they went back to horror, but I had to have number 1. And House of Secrets, the run starts at 81, but I went back because there weren't that many, and I'm 4 away from having every House of Secrets, which is kind of cool. But I have all the Weird Wars, all the Witching Hours, all the Ghosts, and there's some of my favorite collectibles. But so I got the House of Mystery, and at a con just a month ago, I saw the Superboy, and I'm, wait a minute, those wolves are very much like the House of Mystery wolves. And when you put it together, the Wanda is running in the one direction, Superboy is running the other direction. The wolves look the same. Each of them have full moon, 2 background characters, and at least one of which is brandishing a rifle. So all that's together, and I'm thinking, and they're 13 years apart. And the House of Mystery cover was done by Win Mortimer, and Kurt Swan did the Superboy cover. So my gut told me that yes, Swan was doing that as a homage to Mortimer. But then when I delved even further and I looked deeper and I see the credits, Kurt Swan did interior art on House of Mystery. So that's the smoking gun. So it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. So I just thought it was really neat to, see those 2 covers like that.
You don't see that very often.
No,
if at all.
And I didn't know about this, but I saw that Superboy at a local shop show, and I'm like, gotta get that. That's
I'm there with you as far as the old like Silver Age, Bronze Age horror comics. Those are so fun.
We don't talk enough about how great Nick Cardy was, who did the Ghost. At one time, he was doing all the DC line. He could do superheroes. He could do romance. He did Western. He did horror. Nick Cardy was a boss. And Nick Cardy, during World War II, drove tanks. He drove Sherman tanks in the European theater of World War II. And there's a great story where a tiger had him lined up. And a tiger tank, the story was that a tiger shell could go through 3 Shermans because their armor was so thin. And the tiger had Cardy lined up. And Cardy hit a ditch. The tiger shell went over him.
Oh, wow.
And then the one thing the Shermans had is they could haul ass because they were lighter, and he got the hell out of there before the tiger could get another shot.
Wow.
But Nick Cardy, American hero, World War II vet, always got to give those guys love. And
seriously,
I just don't think he as an artist gets enough love for how great he was. And that's one thing I do on the comic cover of the week, Uncle Gary's old school comic cover of the week, is I try to give some love to these guys that, because we only digest and modern folk. I know not y'all, but they don't even think of these artists from the past. When I do our trivia at Comic Live, round where you have to identify the artist, and they hate that. But I don't give a damn. You're going to learn these guys.
That's right.
Yeah. Another facsimile edition.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Uncle Gary, you're killing us.
That was the idea. That's what
he is
said.
reviving us.
Yeah. So little Avengers 1, but it's just who knows what else might pop up.
Oh my God!
So my Fantastic Four run is only 1. 2,
there goes Sal.
All. It goes 1, 2, all. I got them all. So.
Hey, just out of curiosity, since you gave up your claim on the F-bomb, fuck.
There you go, baby.
Yeah, that was appropriately needed. Now,
you might have should have saved it. The new Ghost Rider. I'm kind of digging. I'm digging the run. That's a really Awesome cover.
That's a cool
I
cover.
am too.
Yeah.
Did you? I'm assuming that you were aware that they're coming out with a new
Danny
series.
Ketch. Yep.
Yes, I'm so excited for that.
Yep. Absolutely love some Danny Ketch.
Seriously.
You know, and we let's see. Here's a oldie but goodie. Action
Ooh.
Comics 50.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh wow.
So there that satisfies my need for the old Action
Now
Comics with big logo.
Is that
Yep.
the era when Superman still had to jump long distances, or was
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
able to fly?
Yeah,
at
he
that
was still jumping. He was
Yeah.
still a Mexican jumping bean in that.
There you go.
I'm digging the new Flash run.
The
Yeah.
1 minute war.
Yeah.
The 1 minute
It's been
war.
a lot of fun.
Love to see all the Flashes in.
A side note, I think that's one of the greatest concepts for a story arc in recent memory. The 1
Yep.
minute war, and it all takes place in a minute. I think.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's
very
an
interesting.
excellent. Of course, for the Flashes, they can spend all day on them 1 second.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But I like the scene in I don't think the newest issue, but the one before where Superman was like kind of slowly moving.
Yes.
Like, all right, he's got his speed and he can kind of slowly move, but it shows the difference between them and him.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite relatively recent stories is when Wally was when Superman was going up against Reverse Flash and couldn't get a hand on him. And then Wally comes over and says, "I'm going to give you like a 30-second head start." Boom. Without it's like, oh my God, Wally is his next level.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What character are we talking about?
Which one?
What character are we talking about now? What superhero?
It was Superman versus the Reverse Flash.
Oh, are
He's
we talking
going-
Flash?
Oh my God!
Are we talking
I
Flash?
knew he was coming up. I knew he was going to segue into that.
Jamie
talking
says he
Flash?
officially gives up collecting. Done.
Here we go. Showcase
Yeah,
Phil, baby.
Wait.
Yeah.
Put Uncle Gary back up. I think he has someone else to show us.
The start of the Silver Age.
That's right there.
So here's an interesting side note on this. I agree. This is the first Silver Age book, right?
Yes.
First
Yeah.
Silver Age book. But is Martian Manhunter a Silver Age character or a Golden Age character?
Ooh.
Silver Age?
I'm gonna guess.
I'm going to say he's Silver Age.
Yeah,
but-
Silver Age.
But Detective 225 predates this by over a year.
Ooh.
But now I still will call this the first Silver Age book and say that the Martian Manhunter in Detective 225 backup is an anomaly where, it's a Silver Age character, but actually it appeared after Showcase 4. So, but, a recent book, and this, if we're going to call our book of the week, this Gotham Year 1
Nice.
has been phenomenal.
Really? Okay.
Tom King has written it. Hester's art is very stylized, and I've come to enjoy it. But it wouldn't be my number one style. But it's moody. It fits. The story by King is amazing, and it centers on Slam Bradley. Now, this could be on your Do You Know segment. What is Slam Bradley's first appearance?
Damn.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Wait, I knew this. It was
Come on, Dan, save us. What do you
I
got?
can't remember, but it's
He predates Batman. How about that?
The Spirit?
was it Action 1?
You're right on the right track. Detective 1.
Detective
Wow.
1.
Slam Bradley is the last of the 8 stories in Detective 1. So I love the history that Slam Bradley, predates Detective 1.
Wow.
So again, books just laying around,
God almighty.
That's just hanging here. What's it on? And I don't know why it's on top of this book. Who cares about this?
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Okay, that book. And I'm almost done.
I got a few old X-Men books up there. So.
My X-Men run goes from 1 to all of them. Okay.
Oh my God.
I got the second part of Nice House on the Lake. I've had the individuals. Are y'all digging this? I figured you were.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Love
I'm
that.
waiting for the whole run in trade paperback form.
Yep, and I just got a few more, and then I'll quit monopolizing your time. But I think you're enjoying this.
We are.
This is one of the coolest Golden Age books and Golden Age covers. Sensation 26.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh,
old
nice.
Wonder Woman stuff is amazing.
And a 7.5. What's Wonder Woman's artist name?
Oh shoot, we had this as a question.
It's an After Dark answer because it's Harry Peter.
There you go. Kevin's broken again.
Oh, did we break Kevin? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kevin. I broke it.
You're good.
If you broke it, you buy it. Have you all been reading Green Hell?
Yes,
but I've
I've been
heard so much
loving
about
Green
it.
Hell.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like the end of the first issue was like, I am sold.
Chef's kiss, baby. This has been great. I will collect it. You know, I'm the clown that owns all the originals. We'll get the trades. We'll get the hardback, and then gets the deluxe because you know I just want to have them all. And a cool collected edition is this Adam Strange.
Yes, that was a cool series.
This is a cool series. Has some of his others, and who doesn't love some Strange? You know, I mean, I've been married for a long time, so this is the only Strange I'm allowed to have anymore.
Right,
but
that's all three Kuberts that worked on that.
yes, it sure is. And then there's the Morrison JLA 2-issue crossover, and then there's another 8 or 9 issue miniseries that's in there. So that's there's nothing else that I had for. Oh, I did, Sal. This is for you, baby. So,
All right.
does it make sense? Why would somebody take a beat up copy of a facsimile of AF-15 and have it graded? It just makes no sense.
Oh my
God! An AF-15 facsimile that's in such low shape graded. I just don't get it. Do you?
I don't get it either. It's crazy.
And
It's
actually,
amazing. I
all
love
kidding
it.
aside, this should be a 1.5. I don't know why the hell it was a 1.0 because the cover is detached, but you can see everything. And I've seen 1.5s with a strip at the bottom
Hairs on
taken
them,
out.
yeah. Mhm.
So I don't know.
Tell you what,
Sal,
send it to me. I'll crack it open. I'll look at it, and I'll
And
send it.
we'll resubmit it. Okay. Should I just send that general mail? You know, no
Yeah,
insurance
it's
on
fine.
it.
Have you seen
a regular?
Have you seen what the
Nice.
Kevin, I'm sorry you used your F-bomb already, buddy.
Oh, I'm telling you. God.
have you seen what the original cover art for that issue was going to be?
Yes, and this blows it away.
That was definitely the one to pick.
But yeah, it's interesting. That was on one of my trivias. I had that question that Ditko's original art. The concept was close to the same, but nowhere near as dynamic as what Kirby did on this. So I'm with you, Sal. But it's interesting historically to see what could have been the cover.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But this much more dynamic, and it begs the question: would that book have sold out like it did?
I don't think
with
so.
that Ditko cover.
I don't think so because
Yeah,
I don't know.
the cover that made it
It's
to
impossible
Amazing
to
Fantasy
determine.
it is impossible.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah,
it's
but
so
it's an interesting hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
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 It's one of those divergent paths, but I believe they had the right. This cover is so iconic, and I dig it so much more than the Ditko cover would have been.
It's not something that you'll often say.
This is actually that begs another question too, is if it had gone with the original cover, would Spider-Man have gained as much traction as
Probably not.
Well, absolutely, because Amazing Fantasy was being canceled,
Right?
And Stan Lee said, "I have an idea for Spider-Man," and Martin Goodman said, "I don't care what the hell you do. The book's being canceled. Do whatever you want." And then as soon as it sells out, Goodman goes to Stan and goes, "Stan, we need some more of this Spider guy."
Remember that character that we both really liked? Like, no, you did not.
Yeah.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
So sorry to take so much time.
No, that's perfect. That was
That's all right.
wonderful walk down comic book history lane. Uncle Gary, thank you very much for showing us all of those
Absolutely.
facsimiles and
Very jealous.
reprints.
Very jealous.
I would like to gain some credit for bringing in this dude for that segment. I'm just saying.
Hey, didn't I tell you? I won, but y'all won.
We won today.
Yeah.
And listen, and I can be had in the future, baby. I can be had. I hope
There
you
you
ask me
go.
back.
That's what I hear.
Well,
Yep, that's right.
Speaking
There's enough
of,
of me to go around, baby.
speaking of the future, Sal, how can people save 20% when they go and buy comic books?
Well, I've got the place for you. It's called Heroes Corner Comics. If you go to heroscornercomics.com, you can go onto their website. You can get store exclusives. You can get slabs, very good slabs. You can get back issues. You can even set up a pull list with them. But on the site itself, if you use the word CodeX, that's CODEX, no hyphen, you can save 20% on that order. Plus, they have a CodeX bundle that's 3 Heroes Corner Comics exclusive books that are on sale for $30. And yes, the coupon code will work on that too. So these are it's a great site. It's heroscornercomics.com. They're on Facebook under Heroes Corner Comics Insiders, and they are great people. They package very well. They ship very fast, and they're great to talk to. So I highly recommend them.
Why don't we?
Go ahead. Well, let me say one more thing. My major pull list comes from them, and that's why my shop list is not that big. Because my Heroes Corner list is huge. So
Nice.
Yes.
yeah. Why don't we run that commercial for them?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Jamie, when you're not here, you're here, buddy, and you have some awesome things to say about Heroes Corner Comics. Let's take a listen.
Everyone, if you're anything like me, you love comics, but you also love a good deal. And our friends over at Heroes Corner Comics have just the deal for you. From exclusives to back issues, graded slabs, current issues, and even set up a subscription with them. And all you have to do is use the keyword CodeX at checkout. That's CODEX, and you will save 20% store-wide. So don't miss out.
Don't miss out, ladies and gentlemen. 20%. Use keyword CodeX, no hyphen, at heroscornercomics.com. Now, let's get into some topics. Uncle Gary, this was your idea, so why don't you tell everybody about our first topic, which is most outrageous covers?
Well, I happened to bring a certain comic to the attention of Mr. Tim there that had never seen it or heard it, and he
Amputee Love.
Well, no, okay. If we're going to talk Amputee Love, let's start that now. I couldn't show this. I don't own this book. One of my best friends owns it, and I would have borrowed it for today. So please, gentlemen, look up Amputee Love #1, and let me preface it by you can never unsee this again. You can never unsee this.
Well, while they're looking it up, Uncle Gary, please tell us why we have the topic today, most outrageous covers.
Well, we have the topic because we discussed the Rifleman #10.
Oh my god!
And I showed you. So y'all see an Amputee Love #1 there?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. That is a special book. If my buddy didn't have a copy that was perfect and 2 bills, 2 large, I would buy it. It's $200. If it was $100, I would own the sucker. Now,
oh my god.
With the nudity, we couldn't show it.
No.
The interesting thing about this, check out the cat with the crutch and where the end of the crutch is. If you look toward the girl at the stereo bending over, you'll see the end of the crutch.
Yep.
So, yeah, everybody on that cover is missing something. Amputee Love was written by someone that was a double amputee. So as my buddy Damien at Warthog Comics says, it's a how-to book. It's a book giving back to the people. It's a how-to book, and it's an instruction manual. But once you see Amputee Love,
for the people, by the people.
That's right. And we had a gag that I was trying to sell this at Baltimore, and and I worked on it. People just wouldn't pull the trigger. But if I would have gotten a Ruth Chris steak dinner if I could have sold it to an amputee. So that was that.
God.
That was the bet we had going on. And sure enough, there's a fellow that comes up in a wheelchair missing a leg, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't offer it. But you know, the amputee love. And had any of you ever heard of this book before?
No, I have.
See, if you come away with anything tonight, I want to say, God damn it, we got to see amputee love.
Okay, so Gary, you have the Rifleman cover, correct?
I do. If you have a better image of it than what I'm going to show, that's perfectly fine.
I think what you're about to show these guys is going to be glorious. Please start this segment off with the Rifleman.
The Rifleman, number 10.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that.
So
Anybody got some wood?
Wow.
I showed this to Mike Grill in Heroscon in Charlotte. He turned red and tears flowed from his face. And he kept saying, "It's their faces. It's their faces."
Oh my
little
God.
Johnny Crawford's looking up saying, "Wow, Pa." And he's like, "That's right, son." That's right. So I just love this. My wife bought this book for me. So I told her, "Baby, today I don't think this is funny. Just throw the dirt in on me because I'm dead."
Oh my God.
So got wood? Yeah, I got wood right here, baby.
Oh my God. Gary, go ahead with the other ones that you have.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. I want to use ones that the rest of y'all ain't using. So is anybody using the Pillow Biter action cover?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Okay. I'll say that the Alf cover.
One,
the Alf cover. Yeah, well, no, I don't want to take it from people. You don't have to show it yet. I'm just wondering, is someone else doing the Alf cover?
No.
The Alf cover needs to be brought up. If no one else is doing it, you got to do it, man.
All right.
That's the one.
Oh my Lord.
Yep. And it says, "Caution, do not buy if the safety seal is missing." And Alf is telling him, so hurry up already. And it says no animals were harmed during the making of this cover. This is Alf number 48. How many issues did Alf run?
Probably 48.
50. So I wonder if Alf Bone and the Seal got it canceled.
Wow.
It's nice to see that Captain America made an appearance on that cover too.
Yeah. Cap should be embarrassed with himself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in February, we did a trivia at Comic Logic, and we did romance comics as one of the themes, and which was the biggest selling genre of the 50s. Actually, Jack Kirby and Joe Simon were the creators of the romance book.
John Romita did a lot of work in romance books too.
He sure did. There's a great cover of God. I can't remember. I can't remember the title, but it looks like just like Mary Jane on the cover.
I know that the guys, when they did those, they did them as work for hire so they could get some extra money when they weren't doing the superhero books.
Oh, absolutely. Nick Cardy was never master this. So the covers I'm finding hilarious. And one of my favorites is Heartthrobs number 113. So we see the gal in silhouette here. And what she is saying is, don't split on my account. I don't mind if Jed wants to play around. After all, it won't be the first time.
Wow.
So I'm thinking we got a little three-way action coming here. All right.
Spicy.
So this is 1968, and now it's a party. Now it's a party. So Nick Cardy cover.
Classic superhero comic book artists, ladies and gentlemen, doing romance books.
Absolutely. Girls Love 157 is what I had to have this book.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that. I've seen that recently.
So,
actually,
the duded up cowboy over here says, "So this is my new stepmother. Welcome home, Mom."
Yeah.
Wow.
And she says, "Jeremy." So I think it's pretty apparent. Jeremy's seen his new mom naked. So there we go. And that just cracks me up. And
the horse wasn't the only thing he was riding on that.
No.
That's right. Is anybody doing the Lobo cover? I don't want to ruin that if they're going to show that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I got your cover enhancement right here, baby. So during that silly era when we're doing all these gimmicks, this is by far my favorite at all. I got your cover enhancement right here in the silver inlay codpiece. And I will, because I know we're doing the action, I would be remiss if I didn't take this after dark opportunity to show you my giant sized man thing.
Oh my God.
Nice.
So and I'll show you 5 different times. I'll show you my giant sized man.
Wow.
So you know
Oh,
what's an episode of After Dark without giant sized man things?
There it
Oh my
is.
Lord.
So there we go.
Nice.
Okay.
Je suis fini.
Awesome.
Nice.
So let's Gary, that's amazing. That's wonderful. Some classic covers there. We're gonna go right through the ones that we have here, starting with this one. Dan, tell us about this.
All right, well, it's jab number 3. Excuse me. The picture I found, you probably can't tell, but the thing that made this stand out to me as an outrageous cover is they all had a bullet hole through them. Now Malibu Comics did the gimmick with
Solitaire.
It was Protector.
Yeah.
I think, where it looked like there was a bullet hole going through it on the cover, and it was like went through the whole comic, and it was like where the main character got shot and then I think killed in the book. But they stole the idea from this book that came out at the same time. And the guy that created Too Much Coffee Man, told the story about how he told the guy that was the writer for Protector a couple months before. He's like, oh hey, this is this idea we're gonna do on this cover, and then had like a little ash can like preprint thing that had it on there. And then he says, 2 months later, the Protector's book comes out, and he's like, right when theirs comes out, he's like, oh, you ripped it off. But the difference was the Protector one, they just cut the hole in. The one for Fab, they actually shot them with guns. So
What?
Hell yes.
they
Nice.
had the whole book printed, and they took the time over the span of a few days for like all the copies they printed to actually shoot them with guns with different calibers. And
That's
then
amazing.
the lowest calibers were ones where you could still read it, and the higher the caliber was that did more damage to the book, they sold it for more money, up to the point where they had one of them where they shot it with a shotgun.
Yep.
They sold it like at a premium, to whoever bought it, was like, we guarantee this book is completely unreadable. So when you're talking about an outrageous cover, the one where they literally shot them with guns has got to be up there. And the other one I wanted to mention, and I don't have pictures of it because it was not one book, but back in the 90s when the whole gimmick cover thing was at its height, the company that did the craziest stuff with it was Chaos Comics.
Oh.
But they didn't have it where these ones where you could buy them. They always did it through contests, and they would have the books where it would be literally like a one-of-a-kind cover, but they would like have like actual jewels embedded in them. Like the covers would be made out of leather, like printed on, like made out of gold, and
like the Lady Death Velvet covers.
Yeah, but like these ones they would do with contests where it would literally be like they would only make one of the cover for whoever won the contest, and then they would deliver it to them, and they would make like the most, and I can't remember them all exactly. If someone wants to look them up, you can find them. They would make the most outrageous stuff, like I said, with like jewels and like valuable metals and leather and all kinds of stuff that the cover was actually made out of. And you can't get crazier than a cover that's, like, oh, you got a diamond ring. Oh, I've got a diamond Evil Ernie #4. Like,
wow. Well, I have a question for Sal about the covers with the bullet holes in them. So if those got graded, would that come back as incomplete because the book has got missing pieces?
It possibly will.
No grade.
There's, I would say,
yeah, because it's got pieces missing, right? Yeah,
it's got pieces missing of it. Yeah.
But the Fab one
say,
was actually,
because. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say because of the fact that the bullet holes are not a manufactured type situation.
Right.
If it were a manufactured situation in the printer, then they would not be counted against the grade.
Right.
But because
the piece is missing, you have eliminated a part of that book. Yep.
Right. Exactly.
But
right.
It was worked into the story where like when you flip through the book and read it, like the bullet hole would go like in the Too Much Coffee Man part, the bullet hole would go through a thing, and then you would have the art drawn, so it would be like shattered glass coming up around it. So
That's
they actually
awesome.
work it into where all the panels would be throughout it.
That is awesome. I'm
That is
glad.
so
I mean,
cool.
I'm thrilled to have learned that tonight. That is
Mhm.
nice pull, brother.
Well,
Thank
let's
you.
check out some of these other covers here. So, Kevin, you thought outside the box. Why don't you
I
tell us
wasn't
about
thinking like
this one?
ridiculous like things, but I was talking going back to the early '90s, mid '90s, like special effects covers
Yeah.
that was so popular at the time because they needed that extra push to make their sales. So we got the special effect Robin issue that you just showed.
Yep.
That you kind of moved and it created this weird
Like a
moving,
blind
Like a
effect.
right,
Yeah,
moving
3D
line effect thing.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Okay.
Um,
Let's move on here. We saw
Mhm.
this one.
Yep.
What if no one's watching the watcher? That I think is tame compared to a lot of other stuff we're going to show and talk
Seriously,
about.
I feel like I let you guys down with how mild my selections
Not
were.
at all. This is a great example of outrageous humor.
Mhm.
I think it's awesome when books don't take themselves too seriously.
Oh,
And I
I'm gonna
like
do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Sal, tell us about this.
Okay, so when I interpret this topic as like the cover is like so outrageous, like WTF is going on here. So I found this one because with Dazzler, her powers just going off in every different direction.
Mhm.
Spider-Man's coming in behind her, and it's just like I'm looking at this cover and I'm like, what the hell? You know, that type of situation. And when I Google some other covers, I actually found one. I saw one that had Superman in a dentist chair, and the dentist there's trying to think about. He's like, like that. So I was going to grab that one, but then I went with the Dazzler one because it was easier to grab it.
That was my first
So-
Action Comics I ever bought back in
Wow.
'74, the dental chair one. Yep.
Really?
Wow.
There you go. There you go.
Huh. Oh,
So
wow.
I took that a little bit differently with the
Mhm.
covers. Like
Spe-
what the hell is actually going on here?
Speaking
So-
of Action Comics, Gary, why don't you give us a little
Oh,
insight
yeah.
into the Pillow Biter?
Yep.
All right,
Pillow
Pillow
Biter.
Biter by
Man.
Bob Oskner was the artist who did this.
Ugh.
And here's the thing: when you read it, it's not so salacious
Right.
Right.
because he's trying to prove he's Superman. But even so, why isn't he wearing pants? All he has to do is throw his shirt open and show the S. He's not wearing pants. Just that's all you need.
Take
Put
away
his
the
pants
word bubbles on this,
Yeah.
and it changes completely.
This has to
So-
be this cover has to be the most memed cover
Oh
ever.
my
Well,
god!
So again, I saw Mike Grill last year in Carolina, and my buddy
Yeah.
Mike, I got him this book. He got me the Alf cover, and predating that, I got him that the Pillow Biter cover.
Mhm.
And so now we see these, buy these, and give them to friends that we think deserve a Pillow Biter cover. So it's just a great gag gift. So he took that Action Pillow Biter cover to Mike Grill, who did the interior art on a Green Arrow story in there.
Mhm.
And he had Mike Grill sign the cover, and Mike Grill wrote, "I did not draw this cover."
That's
on the
great.
book. So
Nice.
it was great.
Well, Kevin,
Yeah.
going back to some of your stuff, talk
All right.
about this
That's a
one.
great cover though. I
I-
love that
it's
cover.
It is
such a
cool.
great cover, but it was another one of those special effect covers from the '90s, where they had the cover was done up like a Manila envelope, or a file folder, and it had those were actual gashes
Yep.
in the cover that led to the inner art. So it's another one of those like gimmicky, like, oh, you bought this more for the cover than what was in the comic.
love that
Let's
cover.
see here.
That was
We've got this one.
such
If
a great
anybody
Wolverine
can
run.
tell me about this, let me know.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Black.
We've all
Yeah.
been there.
So there's that, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you need to get hit over the head with a phallic object.
And the guy's smiling too while he's doing it.
right, and he's losing his gun. So don't rob people. There's that. Gary, do you have any insight on that cover?
I don't have any insight on that, and I don't believe I want to have any more sight.
Well, let's go ahead and finish it off right here with the last one of Kevin's, and this one actually got some conversation from us a little while ago. So, Kevin, tell us about this.
Once again, special effects cover. That one actually came with a little plastic gem. That gem that Calypso is holding up is an actual little plastic protrusion from the cover, and that was just, you know, like once again another gimmick to sell the issue.
And this is the book that CGC will not grade.
Right.
Not right. There's a standard edition with a drawn on gem. But that one, I've always been told they won't grade.
Yeah.
I also have an honorable mention, if I may.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Kiss, Blood, Blood with the Ink from 1977 Marvel comic.
Oh yeah.
There was also a Squadron Supreme trade. Yeah, that Greenwald's ashes were supposedly mixed in the die. I have that issue. Tim, can I mention a couple other ones I didn't have pictures for and I don't own?
Absolutely can. Go right ahead.
All right. Reform Schoolgirl. Great cover on that, if you've ever seen that. Reform Schoolgirl. And there's a Betty and Me cover, which is Archie has picked up Betty, and it's he's at a swimming hole, and he's picked her up.
Yes.
She says, "Archie, did you have any trouble rescuing me?" And he goes, "Sure did, Betty, but I had to beat off 3 other guys."
Yep.
Three other guys are in the water.
I was looking at Archie covers, and I was like, I don't know.
And then the other one is Archie number 271. And again, I don't own this. So I'm going to have to get this. Archie's picking out a gift for Veronica, and Betty's standing there with him. And he says, I bet this Frisbee flips out Veronica on her birthday. And Betty says, yeah, it sure will, Archie. She was expecting a pearl necklace.
Listen to the ZZ Top song, Pearl Necklace.
Absolutely. So, you don't want to disappoint a gal. She wants a pearl necklace. Give her what she wants, God damn it.
Oh, my God.
And happy Easter.
Kevin again.
He's done. He's out.
Your cat again.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this episode is outrageous and stupendous. That's our main topic for the week right there. We got about 10 or so minutes left, so we're going to do some closing arguments. And this is the second topic that we have, and this is favorite comic storylines. So if you don't mind, gentlemen, I'm going to start us off here. And then we'll just kind of go around the room. And Gary, we will end this wonderful night with you and your favorite storylines.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't think I have shed tears of joy like this on an episode of After Dark in quite a while. So this is amazing. Favorite comic storylines. This is what I have. So my runner up is Death of Superman. In the 90s, when they were killing major characters left and right, I think that this one was done about as correct as you could have done it. Superman fighting alongside the Justice League, getting the snot kicked out of him, and everything that made Superman Superman he did during that run, and all the way into fighting in Metropolis. And the last panels of that, I remember reading it as a kid, and I just read it again recently, not too long ago, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up as much then as they did before. It's such a beautiful story, such a sad story, and so amazing. That's my runner-up. So my number 3, and these are in no particular order, but my number 3 is God Country. Jamie introduced me to that. It's an Image title from Donny Cates, and if you guys have not read that, go read it. It's mind-blowing. I think it's wonderful. One of the best stories I've ever read, and it's
on my list.
You need to read it.
Mine 4 issues.
6.
6 issues. You're right.
My number 2 is Marvel 1985 by Mark Millar. If you guys haven't read that story is equally as powerful, where God Country has to deal with a father with Alzheimer's. 1985 has to deal with kids going through divorce. and things like that. And that book didn't hit home for me because I am a child of divorce, but my children are also children of divorce. And it's a wonderful story to read and really relate to and things like that. It's a very powerful story. And when Galactus comes in and he says, "I hunger," you're just, wow, it's amazing. But my number one is in the Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Web of Spider-Man, and that is Kraven's Last Hunt. I think that is the last great singular Spider-Man story. I don't think there has been a singular Spider-Man story as great as that since Kraven's Last Hunt. Highly recommend, guys. You need to read it if you haven't read it.
That's essential comic reading.
Yeah,
that is essential.
It is
110%. If they would have left the ending with Kraven as permanent, perfect. But they didn't. Okay, so Sal, what do you got there, bud?
All right, so I'm gonna counter your Kraven's Last Hunt with the Maximum Carnage run.
Ooh, okay.
Now that Maximum Carnage run was like 13 issues. It covered all the Spider-Mans at the time, and it was just that was an amazing story for me because you could see Spider-Man going from one side of the equation where he's agreeing to kill Carnage finally to holding up and saying, "Yeah, this is not going to work. We got to go this. We got to go a different route." So you see that whole progression go full circle for him, and I liked it. So Spider-Man Maximum Carnage, I would say is a definite read.
Oh yeah.
My next one would be the Batman Nightfall, Night Quest, Night's Return.
The epic.
And you have to read the whole thing. You could read each one, each individual chapter you want if you wanted to, but you got to read all three together, and that is just a fantastic story from start to finish.
That's a lot of issues too, but it's worth it.
A lot of issues. It is worth it. So get the trade on it, so you don't have to track down those issues. Now for my last one, I am kind of on the fence with a lot of things, but this one still rings true to me because it was back in my early days of collecting, and it was the Phoenix run, X-Men 101, all the way through the Death of Phoenix at 137.
Yeah,
or 136.
136, I think.
Well,
fancy that.
137.
130. Okay, thank you.
Half of the Phoenix run is done in epic storytelling on decoding panels, so you can see that.
There you go. So that's all Chris Claremont run. And it's just amazing. And the story alone, I think that was my first experience with comic death of Jean Grey, and so it was like kind of heart wrenching for me.
That run also made Wolverine a star.
Yes.
That last panel of, I guess it was 132 maybe, but the last panel where he's emerging from the sewers, where he thought Leland had drowned him. He says, "All right, suckers, you've had your shot. Now it's my turn." That made him a star.
Yep.
So a little bit of back history on that. X-Men number 133, where we busted through the whole hotel. That was the first X-Men book I read that really got me hooked, and I needed to buy the other ones. And it wasn't even mine; it was my buddy's, and I read the hell out of it. And I curled it up, I turned it, bent the pages, everything, the whole 9 yards. But that book I read at least 1 million times.
That's amazing. Dan, what do you got there, bud? Epic storylines, favorite comic
I misunderstood it. I didn't know we were doing epic storylines in our group chat. I thought we were doing creator runs on books. So that
works too.
Those are still epic, baby.
They're still good.
So I went a little different ways, because for me it's easy to say, oh yeah, like Alan Moore and Watchmen, it's obvious, or like John Byrne when he did Fantastic Four, or Claremont X-Men. So I picked a few that are creator runs on books that I really like, that I don't, and they're all modern ones, because again, it's easy to pick the classic stuff like Frank Miller on Daredevil or something. So these are all are ones that are fairly recent. Within the past 10, 20 years, whatever. So I picked Gail Simone's run on Secret Six.
Yes,
I love that book when it was out.
That is a great pick.
Yeah, miniseries and the regular series, fantastic. Still miss it. Howard Mackey writing Mutant X. after they canceled X Factor and went into Havoc being in this alternate dimension, where like everything, like he was the leader of the X-Men, but everything was darker. So like, Beast was even more mutated, and Storm was a vampire, and he was married to Madeline Pryor, and like it, it's just it's a great run. It's a lot of fun to read. The most recent one I'd say is James Tynion on Detective Comics before he did the Batman proper. Like I loved what he did on that, where he had the whole team, where especially the stuff that he did with Tim Drake on it was fantastic, and he brought in the future Tim Drake from that they had done before when he became Batman and Teen Titans, or was really dark, and what he did with Clayface and Cassandra Cain, and that like just
wasn't that the run where he turned Clayface into a pseudo good guy?
Yeah.
My favorite. I loved it.
Fantastic run. And then I'll also say real quick, for Iron Fist as a character I really enjoy, the Ed Brubaker, Matt Fraction, David Aja run on Immortal Iron Fist.
This is Immortal Iron, Immortal.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And the spinoff, the Immortal Weapons, where they focus on some of the other ones. Beautiful art, fantastic story, great action. Just my all-time favorite Iron Fist story. So all these books, like I don't think any of them are worth, none of them are real expensive. You could probably pick up all these fairly cheaply. Good read.
Good stories are good stories, though. Yeah. So, Kevin, what about you? What do you got there, bud?
All right. So this one is a 2-issue run. And this is when I'm like, holy shit, Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man number 269 and 270, where he just beats the pants off a Fire Lord.
Yes.
One of the coolest things. I'm like, holy crap, this is a Herald of Galactus he's throwing down with. It was amazing at the time when I saw that. It was just one of the coolest things I've read. What was the other one I was gonna? Okay, so I'm gonna come back to number 2 because I'm pulling a brain part. Number 1, man, absolutely, Sandman, Neil Gaiman, just unbelievable.
I knew you were gonna say Sandman.
I'm sorry, it's so great. Actually, anything from the Vertigo line was just amazing. I love anything from Vertigo. My favorite thing from Vertigo was the Animal Man when they brought him into Vertigo. It's just like, this is next level. And what was my number 2? God.
Kevin, take a minute to think about it. We'll go to Uncle Gary. Gary, what do you got for favorite storylines or runs?
Okay, I just want to say I think y'all have had some great choices, epic choices. Dan, I really like the fact that you're plugging Iron Fist. So Iron Fist, an Iron Fist plug is what everybody needs. So I'm all for that.
He's reaching for another book. I know.
No, actually, I'm not. So before I get to my top 3, I want to give love to what I think is the greatest epic, intercompany storyline of the past 30 years, and that's Blackest Night. I think Blackest Night was phenomenal. And usually when we see these company events and they have all the crossovers and all, so many of them suck ass, right? It's just a cash grab. Every damn crossover book was phenomenal in Blackest Night. And when in the issue where the heroes that were dead reappeared, just amazing. And then the fact to see Deadman alive, blew my mind. But I got to give love to Blackest Night. I really loved that series so much.
And The Brightest Day.
Right. And Brightest Day was pretty damn good too. Tim, we talked about this the other day. This is leading up to my final 3. I'm sorry I added 5. No,
you're good.
This John Ostrander Spectre run. This is
I remember reading that back when it first came out. That was amazing.
And listen, guys, if you ever have Spectre as your character of the day, you need to have me on, or I'll track you all down. I'll body slam you all. No, I love Spectre. That Ostrander run, with the Tom Mandrake art was amazing. Just visually, the covers were phenomenal. They got artists that weren't even comic artists to do a bunch of them. Mandrake still did more than anybody else, but you know, he would be an occasional cover. They would always have these phenomenal guests. The Wrightson cover I told you about late in the run was just phenomenal. But Ross, Kaluta, Corbin, these covers were phenomenal. The story, Ostrander was a theology student. So what he brought to the Spectre, being the aspect of God's wrath, was amazing. In Ostrander's run, the Spectre was the angel of death that killed all the firstborn Israel, you know, firstborn Egyptians during the night of Passover. So just awesome storylines. The state of New York is going to execute an innocent man. The Spectre is going to take retribution on all the residents of the state because it is a state-sponsored execution. These are some really, really deep themes. And the resolution, when it ended in 62, is one of my favorite endings of any comic of all time. So I just want to give love to Ostrander and Mandrake's run. And Peter Tomasi, one of my favorite writers, edited that run. And he said he's always banging the drum to DC to collect it. They've done 2 trades, and that's it. That run needs to be absolute all the way.
In that whole run too, you have a premiere, the debut of Alex Ross doing covers in there too.
And number 54 is the debut of the Michael Holt Mr. Terrific.
Yep.
Oh wow.
There you go.
So Alex Ross did his first cover in there. Good pull.
So let me give a quick shout out here to Tone Falcon. He's one of our guys that always on the channel. Mentioned Kingdom Come. That
Tone. I was going to mention that.
Kingdom Come.
Mention that as my honorable mention.
That is always great. Now, there is Kingdom Come is one of the greatest epics of all time. And again, we're talking Ross again. How phenomenal is that? So, my favorite comic cover of all time is. Let me show you my favorite cover of all time. I do have a book.
Kevin's putting on his glasses.
I am.
The Swamp Thing 9.
Hang on.
It's my favorite cover of all time. So, this front cover. So, you know, I've got like 7 copies of this.
Wow.
I'm like the Johnny Appleseed of Swamp Thing 9. I've given it to so many people. When I get good deals on it, I buy it. But I love this cover. This Len Wein, Bernie Wrightson run of the original Swamp Thing was just gothic horror. It was all the great monsters showed up. You had a Frankenstein monster, you had a werewolf, you had a robot monster, you had witches, you had an alien in it. The 10th issue was a ghost story. I don't know if you guys have read this run. It is phenomenal. The Wrightson art is amazing. And let me ask you, are y'all old enough to remember the Incredible Hulk TV show?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Watching it.
That show had a melancholy theme, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was, and he was traveling from town to town to town and just eking out an existence that way. But it was so sad and so melancholic.
Yeah. That music didn't help, man.
I believe that they had to have been influenced by these Swamp Thing issues because he was always trying to get back. He was trying to get back to the bayou in Louisiana. Because he was all the way in Europe dealing with Arcane and things like that. But it always had a melancholy feel where he's always traveling. He was always trying to get back home, and he would encounter all these great creatures. And again, the Wrightson art, the Len Wein writing. There's such a, it's the true sad, the monster, the man that's a monster. That inside he's got the noble heart, but on the outside he's a monster, and the rest of the world condemns him for it. This was just beautiful. It had heart, it had sentiment, and if y'all have never read it, I highly recommend you reading those first 10 Bernie Wrightson Len Wein issues. They are fantastic. So that's my 2. My favorite book that is not a superhero book, but is still one of my top 3 is Preacher.
Yes.
I love
Preacher.
Kevin, you were talking about having nice editions. In the past year, I got this beautiful giant
very nice
edition of Preacher. I have read this story 4 or 5 times. I love it. I love Ennis, and I love Preacher, every bit of it. And
I have the
thing that added to me is I'm a huge Western fan, and I'm a huge John Wayne fan. And the persona of Wayne in here is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Jesse Custer is a great anti-hero, but he's got a code he lives by, and characters you love, like Cassidy, have an arc that maybe you don't expect. And it's a love story. But overall, what is Preacher? It's a goddamn Western, and I love Western.
It's so good.
It is so damn good. So Preacher is there for me. And again, very violent, a lot of sexual themes, very adult. You got
very worth it though.
Oh yes, and you know the fact that he's looking for God, that he feels his man, and the book has faith in it. There is faith there.
As much as Ennis hates religion, he, I think, does a very good balance in Preacher with his hatred for it versus the need to tell a good story.
Yes,
I agree, and I love that series so much. So my favorite comic thing. Now this was my last one. My favorite comic one. Justice League 111 was my first book.
Yeah,
I have every issue of JLA. I also love the Avengers. I have every Avengers. I was crushed as a kid when the first JLA Avengers was scuttled by Jim Shooter, and it hurt me. It hurt me badly. And JLA Avengers 1 through 4, George Perez at his most magnificent finally got to do his dream job, and he did these books. Kurt Busiek, excellent job writing it, just perfect. And this cover here, I always point out this, and I say, how can you look at this cover and not want to read this book?
Right?
Yeah.
How can you look at this and not want to read it?
And that's canon in DC too.
Yes, this is phenomenal, and this book was so brilliant. I mean, do y'all remember the Cap Batman fight?
Yeah.
Okay,
we could do this all day, but
it was a bit of a cop out, but it was amazing, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I like
testing each other, seeing
that was so brilliant.
Yeah. And Batman said, all right, Avenger, it's possible you could beat me, but it's going to take hours. Do you want to, is that how we're going to use our time, or we're going to put our heads together? And the little subtle differences, like the JLA world was a little bigger than the Marvel world. Their Earth was a little smaller. And I love Quicksilver getting punked by Flash, the whole thing. And then one of the really insightful things that put the teams at loggerheads in the beginning is the Avengers come to the Justice League's world, and they see the people revere the Justice League. They put them on a pedestal. The Justice League goes to the Avengers world, and the people are protesting.
Flash?
They're saying, "What the hell's they see the people protesting at Avengers Mansion. They got beefs with them, all this stuff." And so Captain America, challenges the League and says, "You put yourself up as gods for these people. You make them worship you. Is that what you do?" And the Justice League's rebuttal is, "What have you done to these people? Why do they hate you so much?" And I just thought that was brilliant in taking, how these characters are perceived in their universes. So it's a little bitty thing, but for a longtime fan like me, it was Nirvana, it was heaven, it was beautiful. And I don't think there's a more fitting coda to the wonderful career of George Perez than these 4 books.
Oh yeah.
I am lucky enough to have a first edition print of the trade paperback.
Nice.
Back there that I got after my brother passed away. That book is give me 1 second, Kevin, and then you go ahead and close this off. That book holds a special place in my heart. That's something that I'll never ever get rid of, because my brother had just started getting back into comics before he passed away, and that was in a group of like 3 trades that he bought. And I remember him calling me one day, and he's like, "Hey, I got these trades at a yard sale. Are they any good?" I was like, "Yes, you need to read all of them." "Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about it after I read them." And things happen. And when I went and got stuff from him, that was one of the ones that I got, and I was like, "That's coming with me."
You'll cherish that forever. That will be a linchpin in your collection. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's my grail right there. Kevin, give us your last thought, and then we're going to end this awesome night.
I remember my second choice. Epic comic runs. Identity Crisis was
Oh.
amazing.
Yeah.
Great
They
choice.
handled all of
Yep.
the characters better than they've ever handled them in ever. They introduce Dr. Light as like, holy shit. It's an intimidating dude. Like, that's Dr. Light.
Yeah.
They have Zatanna performing some questionable things. Just everything about
the
that.
best
was
line
amazing.
in there was what they said about Superman. He's extremely gullible, but once he figures out you're manipulating him, he's
Yep.
coming for you.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
to
They have
mind
a
like
line about, like,
Batman, the
selective hearing.
balls. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I said,
Do
didn't
what?
they have a line in that about, like, somebody said something like selective hearing, like there's like he hears everything. There's some stuff he chooses not to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the Deathstroke fight in it.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's also a line that was almost a throwaway where they were trying to find, Light or whoever had killed whoever had killed Sue.
Yeah.
And there was a line that they were hoped that the person had hoped that the Manhunter or Aquaman didn't, because they had children murdered.
Mhm.
And that
Yeah.
that they use that these that you better hope they don't find them, because they know what it's like to have a child murdered.
Hell
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, that book was so deep on something else. Rag Morales, masterpiece.
Yes, it was so
good.
like this is like epic. This is amazing. Everything about
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, rewind where you need to and make a list, because these are storylines that are on must reads. And our very own Tone Falcone has another option there for you to check out.
That's a
Mutant
good one, too.
Massacre.
Yes.
Don't
So
forget,
many good X-Men ones. Age of Apocalypse.
he
Oh,
says
yeah.
Astro City, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen.
Great.
So check those out. And why, oh, why are we not talking Kingdom Come, Tone? Because we left
You
it for
mentioned it.
you.
I was going to bring that up.
There you go.
You
So,
already did.
ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and end this night. Please don't forget, we are on all the socials. All you got to do is type in at the CodeX Station, and that is where you will find us, your favorite social media platform, your favorite streaming platform, which you're watching us right now on. All you got to do is hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow so you can enjoy more long form content like this. Don't forget, right over there, right there, that QR code that's been up there all night. It's Patreon. Codex. The Codex Station is on Patreon. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/the Codex Station. And you got 2 tiers to choose from, $3 on the spot tier and the Codex family tier, which is $7. Go ahead and check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Sal, let everybody know where they can find you when you're not doing Codex stuff.
Well, when I'm not doing CodeX stuff, you can see me on Sal's Comic Corner on YouTube and the Slab Guy 77 on Instagram.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Heroscornercomics.com. Go there, use the keyword Codex to save 20% store-wide and the Codex bundle. Dan, you're on Instagram. What do you do there, and how can people find you?
Yep, you can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art. I post art, music. Started posting some writing on there a few times a week. So go check it out. Give me a follow and drop some comments. Let me know what you think and what you'd like to see me draw next, what song you'd like to hear me play next. And yeah.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget our sponsor for this week's episode, Dubby.gg. Go ahead and head over there. Type in the keyword code -X to save 10% on your order at checkout. Once again, that is Dubby.gg. Save 10%. Keyword code -X. Kevin, let everybody know what you do on Facebook, doing Facebook things.
Right on. Not only Facebook, but also on Instagram. We created a group called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character, a bunch of other things that we add every single day. We work our hind knees off to provide you guys with really cool posts and info with everything related to this comic book geekery that we all know and love. We'd love to have you come on over, check us out, and join up and become part of our family.
There you go, because it's all about family here. And that includes our special guest tonight, Uncle Gary. Prime time, baby. After prime time, after dark. Please, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been an honor and a pleasure to look at the history of comic books and what you've had to show us today. But I want you to tell people once again who you are and where they can find you when you're not here with us.
All right, brother. I'm known as Uncle Gary. I'm a part owner of Comic Logic, the only comic book store in Loudoun County, Virginia. Come see us. We're on the social media sites, and I post every week. I post Uncle Gary's Old School Comic Cover of the Week. It's a book that's going to be over 20 years old, and it's a book I personally own. Since I got 58,000 books, I'm not going to run out of covers anytime soon. So I do that every Thursday night at 6:30. I am also part of a show with two of my other Comic Logic co-owners. It's Ye Grumpier Old Nerds, and we talk comics, we talk sports, we talk a bunch of nonsense. So if you like any of the nonsense I spouted tonight, you get some more there. I want to say I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think it was a wonderful stroke of kismet that I happened to win the contest that Kevin had with his website. So, again, I joked that I think y'all won, but I did truly win. And I thank you for bringing me on. I have enjoyed meeting you guys online. I've communicated by typing with a bunch of y'all, but to be able to interact with you, thank you for indulging me. Thank you for letting me run my mouth for a long time, because I told you have problems shutting me up. But
thank you for being here.
I appreciate that.
A lot of fun.
And let me say this: I sure as hell hope you ask me back, because I would love to. I'd love to be a guest that you bring on. And I still got a whole lot of comic stuff locked up in here that I'm talking about. We've only scratched the surface.
Uncle Gary, I think it's safe to say that on our next pay-per-view, you may make an appearance. I think that's pretty much in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see more of Uncle Gary, let us know in the comments below on your favorite social media platform or right here on YouTube or Twitch. We would love to have him back, but we need to know that you want him back. Well, either way, he's coming back. So there you go. There's that. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Tim. There you go. Once again, my name is Tim. This guy is Sal, the Slab Guy. Over on the other side is Dan, the Instagram artist, formerly known as Dan Kelly Art. Down below is Archduke Kevy, and right next to him, over in the Cosmic Comic outer space areas, is Uncle Gary himself on the top ropes. Woo! Shine, baby, shine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is CodeX After Dark, outrageous and stupendous. We will see you next time.
Woo! Much love. Peace.